So I saw a video by Ben Shapiro. Well, not by Ben Shapiro. I think he was invited to like a black convention or something. And there was a debate going on between two black people and him and Ben Shapiro. I don't know who these people are. Um, but when he explained why it's not about race and what it is about, they couldn't answer, they couldn't rebuttal, they couldn't say anything. And it wasn't because they didn't have anything to say, it's because what they had to say wouldn't suffice. He said it's about the culture. I keep seeing this video everywhere, and I said I'm going to put it on my TikTok for the part 2, and I will put it on my TikTok, and then I'll just upload it on YouTube. But he says it's about the culture. Us as black people, when we think of culture, when we hear someone mention culture, we associate it with food, the way we dress, hair, music, and language. That's it. We don't associate it with anything else, and that's a big problem. He mentioned a lot of things when it comes to culture. We're going to get mad anytime we hear someone say something bad about our culture because we think they're talking about those 5 things. The only reason it's not 4 things is because I don't know if any other race considers hair a big part of the culture that they have or a big part of it, but we do. Maybe if it comes to growing your hair long, but we associate hair as a completely different entity in our culture. We do. But when he was talking about the culture that black people have and black culture, he wasn't talking about that shit. He mentioned what he was talking about. He said the education level, our ability to compete with other people in the same system, because it does suck. I'm not saying that it doesn't suck. The education system doesn't suck. But in places where the community that the education system serves does not invest in the children it sends to said suckish education system, it's going to suck a little bit more for you than for somebody else. Because America as a whole cannot compete with any other country outside of itself. It can't even compete inside of itself, much less outside. I think we're like 300th or something, or like 10th, or what, I forgot what it was, but we definitely ain't nowhere near 5 or 5th. We all the way down here in the quote unquote developed country, in the land of the free, home of the brave on the internet. The crime rate. He also mentioned the crime rate. I had a brain freeze for a second. He also mentioned the crime rate. I don't think I need to go into detail about the crime rate because if you're black, whether or not you want to admit it publicly, privately, or at all, we have the highest crime rate collectively of any other person. If you collect them all together and stick them together and you put black people aside, we outnumber every other racial community when it comes to the crime rate because population-wise and community-wise, the majority of our community has a crime problem versus in public society where everybody's kind of mixed together, there's a huge crime rate. You got crime in white communities, Latin communities, Asian communities. You have crime rate in every community. But usually those people are sectioned off into a certain area of that community, said community, so they do not trouble everybody else. They literally separate themselves from those people. Black people don't do that. What we do is we will merge with that part of the community. And even in situations, especially now, where we have 2-parent households, we live in the suburbs, or at least live in an economically stable, average, safe environment, decent environment, we will still choose to go down and get down and dirty with the rest of the people in the community that don't need to be integrated with the rest of safe society. We'll do it to spite people, we'll do it to prove a point, and we'll do it because that's just the culture that we have. We cultivate a culture of dereliction by choice. That's what we do. Black culture fucking sucks. It sucks. He said the crime rate is terrible. Most black kids in schools cannot read, cannot write, cannot spell, cannot do math. basic math. We're not talking about the crazy trigonometry and algebra and all that other shit that most people can. We're talking about basic math skills. Like the skills that you might need when it comes to paying bills and budgeting and calculating exactly how much you have and how much you're going to spend. They can't do that. But somehow they know who the Migos are. And in most cases, once you come outside the house, you're going to know. You're a parent, you have your own life. You're not about to sit there and not live your life, which is fine. But when your kids cannot do basic skills, because if anything, if nothing else in school is ever used in the real life, English language arts, writing, reading, spelling, and math, those will always be used. You need those. And black kids cannot do those right now. And every generation, they can do less and less and less and less. You're going to blame Cardi B for that? You're going to blame Nicki for that? You're going to blame Migos for that? You're going to blame all of those celebrities for that? A lot of these celebrities have a very, very, very nice education. They just chose to do this because it makes them more money. And it makes them more money because we present ourselves as only being able to be the best at that. Is the music good? Don't ask me. Ask somebody else. Because as far as I'm concerned, trap music is crap. It all sounds exactly the same. I don't even know if I can consider most of y'all artists because you guys got ghostwriters. And it's like, you don't even help the ghostwriter contour the lyrics to you. You just let them write and you spit it out. I'm not the best person to ask for that. I'm really not. Sorry. But what I can tell you is that Ben Shapiro is talking about our behavioral culture, societal culture, social etiquette, the way we see each other, the way we talk to each other, what we prioritize in our community, and what we do when things go bad, and who is in charge of when things go bad. When it comes to who's in charge of when things go bad, I'll give you a perfect example. Takeoff dying. Whatever the hell was going on, it did not require guns getting drawn. And according to the news articles, Takeoff was probably trying to stop it or trying to block it or at least trying to just prevent anything from happening. He ended up getting caught in the crossfire and now he's not here. He wasn't even the target and he did. That happens a lot in our community, more so than anybody else's, where a lot of black people who were not the target of someone else's rage, of another black person's rage, had to pay the price. And the person who should have paid for that rage, or who was supposed to pay for the rage, whether or not they deserved it, literally still walking around. Because by the time you done shot this person, you're so devastated by the fact that you shot the wrong person, you ain't even mad no more at the person you wanted to kill. And then I see a bunch of people, I mostly see black women, honestly, who are saying that white people want to listen to our music, use our music in advertisements for different things, especially when they want to seem cool or attract a certain crowd because of the market. They listen to our music in the gym. When they use the gym, they use it for motivational things. They use it for the reels, for social media. Again, commercial advertisement or any type of promotion. Or they just listen to it for the joy of listening to it. Or to get hype or to get lit, right? But then when the artist dies, crickets. You don't hear from those white people or those non-black people about the artist. They're not saying they're sorry for the loss. They're not caring, and it's not there. And this is them misappropriating our culture. And they are accusing non-black people of trying to infiltrate black culture by listening to our music, despite not caring about the artist who created the music for you to consume once they die. What? What? Why the fuck do you care if Susie cares about Takeoff dying? She had no involvement in him dying. There's a lot of black people that don't give a shit that he died. There's a lot of black people that don't even know who he is. There's a lot of black people that didn't notice him in the trio. They notice he's there, but they don't pay attention to him in the trio. Or Quavo. There's a lot of people that probably know who Offset is. There's a lot of people who don't know. And they're black. And they don't care. They didn't care while he was alive, and they damn sure don't give a shit now that he's dead. But the idea that if you are not black, you are obligated to care about black issues, but at the same time mind your business about black. What the fuck do you want? You do not get to mandate or oblige another race of people simply for the fact that they're not black to care about the fact that the artist is dead simply because they listened to the artist's stuff or because they consumed the art from the artist. Just because I consume the artist's art does not mean I need to have an emotional override now that the person's dead. And a lot of black people, and it's mainly the black women that I'm going to see talking about. I'm not saying the men aren't talking about it, but they don't give a damn most of the time. It's the black women. Why do you give a shit if Susie cares about Takeoff being dead? Why do you care? And how is it hypocritical that a fan isn't mourning the death of an artist? And then some of y'all are saying that the stuff that they rap about is the stuff that we marched for. Bitch, I ain't marched for that. Y'all are at this point, y'all are being intellectually dishonest on purpose. If you weren't doing it on purpose before, you're damn sure doing it now. Because why? Why does Rosemary need to give a damn because she heard the music, listened to the music, liked the music, about the fact that the artist died because of somebody in their phenotypical group offing them on accident when they tried to off somebody else for a stupid reason? Why? No. Because we like to act like it's new to us that this stuff goes on. And then have the audacity to say, as a black woman, that we march for the stuff that they rap about. Are y'all listening to the same type of trap music that I'm listening to? Because all I hear is ass, titties, drugs, coke. That's all I hear, bruh. Spinning a block. That's all I hear. I don't remember even the most ignorant of black people marching for that. There was a time when rap music actually told a story, was poetic, and it was relatable to what was going on. At least, whether or not you liked it, whether or not you cared about it, it was relatable to what was going on. That was the 90s. That's over. Today's trap music, first of all, it's trap music. It ain't even rap music no more. It's trap. There's nothing about trap that's protest worthy. You have got to be out of your mind. We rap and sing and make money and make a career out of singing and rapping and talking about the type of culture that we cultivate, but somehow have the unmitigated niggadacity to tell non-black people they don't understand our culture. How the hell would they not understand our culture when they literally listen to it? You just said that they listen to it but don't care about the artist when he's dead. I'm pretty sure they probably don't care because they knew it was coming. They expect it to come. But somehow you don't expect it to come. Black people don't care about the culture that the music represents and surrounds. We don't give a damn. So it doesn't make any sense to expect white people, especially white people, because that's the main target, to give a damn. Why are you demanding that everybody who is not black care more about black issues than you're willing to care about? is because a lot of us already know we're doomed, we're done, we're fucked. That's fine. Acknowledge when shit's just hit the fan and it's over. But the way we've cultivated a culture around blaming everybody for the choices that we decided to make independent of whatever influence they've had, if any. Crime rate? How many people have died from crossfire situations? We got a whole lot of crossfire deaths going on. A lot. There are a lot more inter-community deaths than there are police brutality deaths. A lot more. They've always been like that. It's always been like that. And it's gotten worse over the years. And this year in particular, we were able to highlight Black women and Black girls. Used to be 6.5 hours. Now it's 4.5, and it's gonna just keep dropping. Let's not be dishonest and just say it's gonna keep dropping. It's gonna keep going. Because out of the Black women that don't want to die and want to leave and wanted a better life, you got the ones that know what's going on and don't care and would rather it continue to go on because they're comfortable with what's going on and they're okay with it. And their complicitness allows everybody else to get hurt. And it tends to happen that in Black culture in particular, the ones who want things to stay the way they are seem to live longer than the ones who want to change. That's why the people that want change in the Black community leave. Because the moment you want change in the Black community or decide that you want to implement it, you're going to lose your life. The reason the Black community is not going to get anywhere is because you're going to lose your life if you try to do anything other than what's already been done. Ben Shapiro made that very, very clear. There is no way you're going to expect other people who, regardless of whether or not they individually like each other in their community, they got their shit together, to all of a sudden listen to you when it comes to what they need to care about and what they don't need to care about. Because I noticed one thing. When non-Black people talk about what goes on in our community, and this is around the time where you tell them to, mind their non-Black business and they need to not talk about Black issues, it's usually when whatever bullshit we're doing affects them. That is the only time they're going to care. That makes more sense than what you're expecting them to do. I don't care about shit unless it affects me. I used to care about shit whether or not it affected me. I paid the price for it. And I paid the price in ways money can't afford. And anything that I lost or anything that it cost me is stuff money can't buy. That money has no jurisdiction in. So because of that, I'm not going to give a shit about anything unless it affects me. And that's what these people have been doing forever. So if you see them going in, and pay attention, because you have those that'll, insult us and be racist and be disrespectful. But you have those that are telling you your culture is dangerous to yourself. But since you seem to be okay with it, keep it over there. Don't bring it over here. Because you bring it over here, we're going to make sure that you don't leave. You're going to get offed. And we're going to get you for it. Knowing white people already don't like us, you gonna try to make your problem their problem. Blame them for what you did to yourself, independent of them even existing. They weren't even around when you did that. They're to blame for it. I don't understand. Ain't nobody protesting for ass and titties. Talking about the stuff they sing about is the stuff we protested for. You really make it easy for people not to take Black people seriously. Bitch, no. The people that did protest didn't protest for that. There's nothing in any trap song that has ever been what people protested about. It's the same shit every single time. It's not original. It's not even unique anymore. It's not art. It's something to listen to. And after a while, you get tired of it and you want to listen to something else. You cannot get angry at white people for being able to go back to their nice communities where stuff like this doesn't happen when you're the one creating it. This music, like I said before, is a product of the culture that's already been cultivated. The music just talks about what goes on. Your outfits represent stories that talk about how we came to this color being used in this pattern. Stories behind why we eat what we eat. Why you eat what you eat, there's a story behind it. And that story is discussing the culture surrounding how we came to eat what we eat versus what everybody else eats. You don't get to demand that consumers of the art give a shit about the artist when the artist is paying the price for his own art. Your art should not be killing you, but it is. Black people are the only people whose art kills them off. You can't demand that people care about you when you don't even care about yourself. That doesn't make any sense. We don't like each other so much, but somehow demand that the rest of the world love us and care about us simply because we're black, as if our pigment has anything to do with why we're here. At this point, white supremacy only has so much reach and only needs to do so much. It's not here right now. It's just you. It's just you. Those two black people during the debate with Ben Shapiro couldn't say shit because he was right and they knew it. The culture surrounding us. The culture surrounding us is our responsibility and our fault. You don't get to sit there and dictate when white people get to be in your business, but then tell them to not be in your business when you don't want to hear what they have to say or you don't like them. You don't have to like them. They don't like us. They make that very, very clear. Then you have a lot of them that do like us, but think we're dumb as shit. Can you blame them? Talking about nobody understands black culture. We make money off of throwing it in people's faces every day. Everybody on earth understands black culture very, very, very well. And they actually understand it so much, they understand it more than we do. And it's ours. Intellectual dishonesty. Intentionally disingenuous. Trying to use white supremacy on your own kind, thinking you're going to get the same result that Billy got. You're not. Doing the most important things, or what would be considered the best things, during the worst times. Hating kids the most, but having the most of them out of any community collectively, with nothing to show for it and nothing to provide those kids, blaming those kids for why life is the way it is, like you just couldn't, not fuck that person. Sexual irresponsibility. Purposeful dereliction, no type of social etiquette. And if you do have any, it's the etiquette of a sewer rat, if possible. The cops have about this much involvement or impact in the black community when it comes to everything else that we do. You don't get to sit up there and continuously blame the system anytime anybody's asking you what happened. Oh, the system is responsible. It's the system. It's our oppression. We're getting oppressed. Nigga, you oppress your kids. You oppress your wife. Women oppress other women. Kids oppress other kids based on what they see their parents do. We oppress each other. You do not get to blame white people for something you chose to do. The system's responsible for the system's not responsible for shit. It's you. Stop blaming everybody else and take responsibility for shit that you do. You no longer get to do that. You no longer get to do that and think that people are actually going to take you seriously. Because takeoff situation is a situation that I have seen people or rappers put in their videos, put in their songs. You sing about the culture, you reinforce the culture, but when the culture actually executes itself and does what it needs, does what you made it do, the system doesn't need to do shit with you at all. White supremacy can literally retire because of how much shit you do to yourself. I'm supposed to drink the poison and then blame the system for why I'm about to die in a few minutes. Sure, that makes total sense. Absolute immense sense. Why? Anybody who thinks it's okay to blame the system or it's correct to blame the system for what happened to Takeoff, you're being intellectually dishonest. And you're getting mad that people call our culture violent. It is. It is. As many babies as we're having, we have the highest death rates. Self-inflicted. And yet, and still have the unmitigated niggadacity to blame everybody else but ourselves for situations that we create, for a culture that we cultivate and create for ourselves. We're okay with that culture till it affects us. You don't think a violent culture is going to affect you at some point, especially when you made it? Like you create a very unsafe environment for your house and your kids. Or you and your partner. But somehow, Barbie's responsible for y'all being miserable. No, you're responsible for you being miserable. You're not being honest with yourself about the fact that you don't like this person, but you want them in the house for whatever damn reason because you think you're supposed to have somebody in the house, knowing you don't like people and you're going to make that person pay for it. But Becky the reason. Becky the problem. There's only so much white people really need to do to you for it to have any type of effect. Where we live, if you see white people anywhere in the hood, it's because they chose to be there. You don't see white people coming down to the hood unless they want ethnic food or clothes or drugs. They don't come to our area unless they want sex, drugs, food, maybe, or to get away with whatever crime they can't get away with during, by the HOA. That's what they come to us for. They come to us for all the bad shit because they know we'll be proud to give it to them. We are at the bottom of the totem pole by choice. Asian people, as much as they do to themselves, your happy black ass walk up in that area, you are not going to come back. You're going to end up on somebody's plate. You're going to end up dead. You're going to end up in prison. I'm really just not sure you understand that as a black person, if you want to incite any type of change in your community, you're going to lose your life. You're going to lose your sanity. You're going to be stressed. You're going to have a very miserable life because no black person is going to let you make actual change. It's not going to happen. Talking about it is one thing. Doing it is going to cost you your life. That's why black people are done. My little opinion, the black community need to split, disappear, disperse, die, drop, just die, just fall off the face of the planet. There's no such thing as a community. No such thing as a community. A community is reserved for people that understand infrastructure is needed for the community to stand strong on itself. Social etiquette is important. The way you treat each other, what you prioritize. If you're going to have kids, have something for them to utilize as they get older. Have a good school, have good education. Invest in the education if you think it's so damn bad. Invest in sports and programs if you want them to have something to do besides being stuck in the house all day. If you care about the fact that they're getting in trouble. You can't depend on white people for everything, but then sit there and say that everything that's going on is none of their business when it starts to affect them. You don't get to do that. You don't get to sit there and take money from someone, but demand that they stay out your business when you use the money that they gave you to benefit you a little bit better and you splurge it on something stupid. You don't get to do that. And it's amazing to me that you think our culture is envy of the world. It's not. Our culture is the worst culture on earth. The worst. Because we actually think people want to be like us. When it comes to how we look, sure. The only thing they might be jealous of is the fact that I wish I could get away with doing half of the shit that they do and it not cost me what I've built. It will cost them a lot if they do what you do. We don't have anything to lose other than a place in the general public. And that is so much for us because that's all we have. When it comes to black people getting upset that the rest of the world sees us as only useful when we're entertaining them, that's all you let them know you can do. The handful of black people that decide they want to do more than just entertain folks, they want to be a part of society and do jobs or have a business surrounding things that society actually needs and focus on societal needs versus wants. You can't sit there. Y'all like to attack CNN for not posting black people doing something other than music and sports. Why is it their responsibility to do something that you don't even do? I don't see them showing a lot of Asian kids. I don't see them showing a lot of Latin kids, yet both Asians and Latin people do not rely on those networks to broadcast what they can do other than entertainment. Spanish people are known for cleaning, cooking, banging food. They are known for their music. They are known for the way they dress and the stuff that they wear and their language. But they're also known for things that they contribute to society other than entertainment. Like Puerto Rico, fixing cars, jacking up their cars, great mechanics. You always see them talking about them jacking up their cars like for hoopties. They're like the hoopty kings and queens. They know how to fix it up, make it look nice, and they'd rather use that than get a nice car, like a new car. And they got nice cars, they got new cars, but they have culture surrounding jacked up, nice hoopties or lowriders. And then up in LA, you got Chicanos, Mexicans, lowriders, the El Caminos. They jack them things up, making lowriders bounce and move up and all of that. They're known for other things that help society, plus the fun parts about it. All right? When you see Caribbeans, you see the women, mainly the women, are known for being the best nurses. Black women are seen as the best nurses, especially if you come from the Caribbean, because down there, they're used to taking care of their family members, whether they're old or they're sick or they have a disability or a birth defect. Patients, right? So they're known for other things. Spanish people are known for doing jobs that the rest of y'all do not want. And they do it to the best of their ability. And because they have a close-knit family relation, whether or not they like each other when it comes to making sure other communities can't one-up them, they'll do what they got to do and put that aside. Asian people, known for high tech, extreme intelligence, so gifted in so many ways, not just in art, but in science and math and in history, in infrastructure, in construction, and in architecture, in agriculture. Also Latinos, agriculture. What are we known for? Music, clothes, hair, being ratchet, sports, Those are stereotypes that we created for ourselves. Ain't nobody made that for us. It's like the crack epidemic. Oh, the system put crack in the home and you took the crack from them and went off with it. Even if there was a pile of crack on the sidewalk, you grab it. It's your responsibility at that point. You can go after them for putting it there when it don't belong there, but that's about as far as it goes. You took it up. That's you. That's you. Takeoff is dead because of black people, not because of Becky. So it's not Becky's responsibility to care about a problem that we created. The music literally illustrates the culture that we cultivated. Why would it be almost impossible to think that everybody on earth can't understand what's going on when we literally spill it for them? We spell it out for them. We tell them in our songs. We tell them on TV, reality TV. We're the queens, kings and queens, mainly queens of reality TV. Because we give the most fights, the most arguments that make no sense. When it comes to relations with family and kids, we're terrible and people love that. We live in a world where somebody's got to do it. And it ain't finna be me. But Keisha's willing to do it, so shit, why not? Go right ahead. Stop demanding white supremacy to lay in a bed you decided to make. They did their job and they left. You did not have to continue the route. Y'all did that. White supremacy at some point ended where intellectual dishonesty began for us. Black culture ain't shit. And regardless of how you feel about me or any other person that says what I say, it's the truth. And Ben Shapiro is right. Because those black people couldn't say anything. All they could do was smile and try to play off the embarrassment. We are the most embarrassing people on the planet. And we have nobody else to blame for that but ourselves. And it is too late to demand unity. Because you keep demanding unity. The reason it never happened is because nobody wants to unify with each other. I don't want to. Nobody else wants to. We don't fucking want to. Because we know it's not going to end well. The minute black people decide to come together, there's a good about 10 out of the 20 that have a very, very bad intent behind the unity. I don't want to do shit with y'all. Most black people don't want to do shit with each other. Being honest about it saves everybody a lot of time. We already gave up on doing better because we don't see the benefit of doing better. You do what you want to do. Black people make it clear we do what we want to do. And being better for yourselves ain't what you want to do. So you do not get to demand unity or care and concern from other people who already got their shit together because you refuse to get your shit together and demand that they care on your behalf about your problems. You don't get to do that shit and think it's actually going to happen. Imagine telling other people to care on your behalf about you, and then they just don't do that because that's not their job. Don't like the system, but want it to help you out. You don't get to have it both ways. And black people demand to have their cake and eat it too. A lot. So, at this point, you need to understand you no longer have a glass house to throw stones from. There's glass everywhere, and you no longer have to worry about throwing stones in a glass house because you're walking on shards every day to the point where you don't even feel them anymore. But black people being black people, you still gonna throw stones at folks. You don't get to do that. I promise you. Everybody on this planet understands our culture very well, which is why they will enjoy the product that comes from it, but not touch what led up to it. They don't have to do that. It's not their culture, remember? You always like to rub it in their face. It's not your culture. It's not. That's why they don't have to deal with the damage it causes when the shit hits the fan. That's why they get to dip and leave. You don't get to complain about that. Stop demanding consumers of art care about the artist when his art causes his demise. Takeoff didn't expect to die, didn't want to die, didn't intend to die, and he's dead. The person who intended to kill, who was intended to be killed, still alive. The person who shot the trigger, too focused on the fact that he took an innocent life to worry about this person. You just realized how much whatever you were mad about didn't matter, huh? You don't get to turn a blind eye but demand everybody else peel their eyelids off to see your shit. Everybody knows our culture. Back to front. We've played it out for years, decades, even centuries. You don't get to demand that people don't know the culture and say that people don't know the culture and act like it's new. You're just at this point, you're just sticking your head up your ass on purpose. Throwing rocks and hiding your hands doesn't serve a purpose because you're the only person throwing anything. So this Black Lives Matter shit is bullshit because no, they don't. And no, I'm not talking about Kanye West. Kanye West is a piece of shit. He's a troll because he's exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to black people liking to blame the system for everything and wanting black people to back them up when he wants to talk about systematic oppression and this, and that. Yet here you go doing the exact same thing you're accusing said system of doing to other black people. You're doing it to other black people. You troll, you do stupid shit for attention, you put your kids in danger, you act like an ass, you say shit that you know is gonna piss people off, but then when the same system that you don't like gets you, you want those people that you just insulted and disrespected to back you up. I'm not talking about his meaning of Black Lives Not Mattering. I'm talking about y'all not giving a shit about each other, but wanting everybody else to give a shit about you when you're in trouble. Nobody who is not black is obligated to care about your existence. Nobody is obligated to give a shit. If they do, it's voluntary, not mandatory. Black people have already made it and established that they don't care about each other. It's voluntary for them to do that. And I understand why. So why would you demand other people outside of the black community do what you won't even do yourself? That's not even, we're past the point of being hypocritical. You're just delusional at this point. Delusional. Okay? So yeah. Have fun trying to get black people to rally for another black person killing another black person off. Whoever does that, I'm just let you know you a dumbass from now. And good for you. And have fun. Because if you think anybody's about to feel sorry for y'all outside of the black community, paint your face looking like a clown from now. Just do it from now and just walk around like that for at least a day. Because you look silly. You chose to look silly. White supremacy has nothing to do with this. This is you. It's just straight you. And after 400 plus years of deciding y'all don't want to get it together, you do not get to determine what other people do with you when you decided you don't even want to deal with yourself. This is not a white or non-black person problem. This is a you problem. This is a black people's problem, right? So keep it there.